evening, class. It is Professor Hatter. I am Professor Hatter. Welcome to another Swup video. I'm outside tonight for dinner. I already ate my leftover hamburger from last night, and because I shouldn't be eating on camera, according to some of the students in the class, Major League Cats. So I figured, well, I'll eat beforehand. So my choice of drink tonight is a peace tea raspberry flavor. This is a Fresh Time classic of the Fresh Time boys, Peter and Vinny. I'm just in a good mood this weekend. Been such a good weekend. Cubs, they lost today, but they went 7-2 in their home stretch, coming back from the All-Star break. Rizzo had a grand slam. I'm excited about that. What else was really good? I didn't die from the excessive heat and the heat index in Chicagoland area here. Within the hundreds, and the humidity was worse in the Bahamas and the Amazon rainforest. I'm also in a good mood because Trends United, or guy from Atlanta, he did a contest for his 200th video, and there's like 10 winners got a signed CD from him that he produced, and there are 2 winners that would get any hat they wanted from Hat Club, any fitted hat. I was one of them, so yeah, I'm really excited. I'm going to get a free hat from Hat Club, and the other winner was Johnny G, so congrats to you as well, good sir. No, I'm really just excited from this past weekend. I went out with a friend from work, from Board of Elections. Went to the Michael Bublé concert. Went with coworker Lindsay, and my mom got the tickets in February for my May birthday for a July concert. So that makes sense, doesn't it? A lot of fun. And of course, Michael Bublé is good music. He plays a lot from the American Songbook of classical jazz and swing, big band music. The trombones, oh my God. I told her, I'm like, in the music business, I was having what we would call eargasms. Oh, the trombones are so good. Oh, yeah. So it was a really good weekend. So, yeah. So I'm really good. And, so it was also a weekend for the Hall of Fame for the inductees for baseball. Before we get into that, a few quick notes here. For hockey, Lucic was traded for crap from the Edmonton Oilers to Calgary Flames to get traded for James Neal, so it was kind of a weird trade that happened kind of out of nowhere after all of the free agent stuff and all that other movement, so whatever. And Seattle has a new GM, and they have new rules for the upcoming expansion draft next year. I forget those rules specifically, but they got new rules where they pretty much aren't going to be able to repeat what Vegas did for their expansion draft. Let's see. So, with NFL, Matt Nagy, Bears head coach, threw out the first pitch Friday for the Cubs game, and he also sang the 7th-inning stretch. Really surprised he wasn't wearing a visor, because that's his regular hat selection style. Anyways, so this past week for baseball, Giants are now 8-2 in the last 10 games, and they're back into the wild card conversation. Pretty cool for them. Cubs traded Mike Montgomery for Martin Maldonado, catcher from the Kansas City Royals. Kind of a weird trade. I had heard that Montgomery was on the trading block, but I didn't figure we would trade him for a catcher because we already have Castillo, But Contreras, sorry, jeez. We already have Contreras, but he's injured, but it's still not a good reason to trade. And Victor Caratini, so I don't know why we traded. Could have gotten like another outfielder maybe, or maybe another pitcher. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, Cubs are coming back. They have, since 2015, since Joe Madden became the manager, they have the best record in baseball, MLB, after the All-Star break. Now, you could tell me, like, oh, well, the Cubs have had, the most home runs, or the most runs, the best ERA, best strikeout, K9 stats since the All-Star break. And it's like, okay, those are nice numbers, but does it get me the wins? And having a better record after the All-Star break, yes, that helps me. So, yeah. I'm also filming outside because a coworker was in the break room and didn't feel comfortable doing it with them around. Anyways, so yeah, the Hall of Fame was today. Induction. 6 men were inducted, and there were 5 great speeches from those men. Roy Halladay, rest in peace to Doc. He was tragically died in a plane crash in the last 2 years, and it was in the off season, and it was really sad. I got my Phillies hat here, and everyone knew that he was first ballot, but for him to go out like this was really tragic and really sad. And his wife Brandy made a very short speech compared to the other guys, but it was like Roy's speech. She said, it's the speech that he would have given, and she made sure that he was remembered for what he did, like who he was, not specifically what he did. And they kept talking about him being on the Blue Jays and him being on the Phillies when he had that perfect game in the postseason, second ever. And there was a video afterwards where like they're all in the locker room and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, congrats, Roy!" And he's like, "No speech. We still gotta win 2 more games." It's like he was like, "We gotta win. We gotta get to business." So it's a really good mentality that he brought to his team. And he, along with Mike Messina, did not have a cap insignia on their plaque. Mike Messina, I think he could have picked either one, but with Halladay, it was fitting that he went with a blank hat. So, Lee Smith, let me get out the right hat here. Lee Smith of the Chicago Cubs is the newest member of the Hall of Fame to wear a C, and he joins a bunch of other guys. Billy Williams was back, Fergie Jenkins, Ryan Sandberg was there, Andre Dawson. So it was really, really cool day. Mariano Rivera, I think, had like the top speech. He gave a really good speech. I think he gave the longest one, but it was a good one. Lee Smith had a good speech as well. He smiled all the way through, talking about, how he was supposed to be a basketball player, but came up to be a pitcher. He didn't want to do baseball because his parents couldn't afford, the equipment, but everyone helped him out who could to get him a baseball uniform to pitch and get involved, and for 13 years he had the highest saves in baseball until Mariano Rivera. So kind of in a kind of weird fitting way that it was Lee Smith second to last, and then the guy who overtook his record was after him. So kind of a nice touch. So the first 4 guys out who didn't make it in this past year on the ballot, in order, Kurt Schilling, Clemens, Bonds, and Walker. And Larry Walker jumped like 20%, and this is his 9th year on the ballot, so he's going into his 10th year. I think the new rules have been in place that after 10 years instead of 15, then you're not on the active ballot list. Then you have to go to like a new committee for like, golden age of baseball, yada yada. And next year, the early baseball days committee will meet up where they select any player eligible who played from like 1871 until 1949. So I'm going to guess that no one is going to get in from that committee. I haven't heard any names, so there'll be an update for later. But yeah, the other three guys were from the steroid era. I'll talk in another video, maybe some other time, about, extensively going into about the, things about PED. Because the guy who got me into baseball, the player that got me into baseball and being a Cubs fan, Sammy Sosa. And he really effed up. Corked his bat, had, PEDs in him, but he couldn't speak English, so how could he prove that he actually took PEDs and steroids? And he just didn't handle it well, and it's like, I really want him to come back, because he's like, oh yeah, I have more home runs than Ernie Banks, so where's my trophy? It's like, well, one, you kind of cheated to get your home runs, and two, you haven't really been forthcoming and humble and, remorseful about your actions. So I can't really defend you. I can't really side with you. So kind of unfortunate. But he was like towards the lower end of the ballot from this past year. But I think in the next 3 years, at least, Bonds might get in. It'll be at least 3 years until Bonds will be really considered for the Hall. So looking for next year, of course, I'm going to say Larry Walker gets in, jumping up 20%. I think he'll get in next year. And among the big names for the first ballot next year, Derek Jeter, Paul Konerko, Cliff Lee, Alfonso Soriano, Jason Giambi, Rafael Furcal, Adam Dunn, Josh Beckett, Bobby Abreu, and yeah. But among those guys, Jeter for sure, first round. Cliff Lee, yes. Konerko, I'm hesitant to say so, but either next year or the year after he'll get in. And Soriano was going to have to wait about 3 years, I think. Just my opinion. So yeah, the other guys, the Barnes guy who played for the White Sox, I didn't see his speech. I watched a bit of Mike Messina's speech, and Edgar Martinez had a pretty good speech. I liked his as well. So, pretty good day. It's always a good day. I've been to Cooperstown twice. Actually, once to actually see the museum, and then twice because we were in the area and we just stopped by and looked around. But place I really want to go back to sometime. So going back to two quick things here. So that free hat that I'm gonna get from that YouTube guy. I'm kind of in between thinking about a Brooklyn Dodgers hat and maybe a Atlanta Braves away all navy hat. I've almost thought about a White Sox hat, but Hat Club does not really have any good Cubs hats anymore. I got this one from 1914 from Hat Club. It's got the green underbill, nice navy. This is navy cap, and then the bear on the front. And the other one that they offer is navy brim, gray cap, and navy bear. So, I mean, that one's kind of cool, but it's also $25. So I'm like, I can get that on my own. So, I kind of want to look at like the higher priced ones. So, Brooklyn Dodgers, because huge respect for Jackie Robinson, and I've always wanted one of those hats. They released the Montreal Royals hats, the minor league team he played for, before he got to the Dodgers. That's a tempting hat too, but I think I want to go with the Dodgers hat. So I think we're going to go with the hat with the retro crown. But if anyone has any suggestions, I'm probably going to send the order in by like Tuesday, Wednesday to the guy. So pretty pretty much thinking baseball. No other really good like Baltimore Oriole hats or really any other like baseball hats that really like popped out. So I got a new Cubs hat. I got a new special snapback hat. I'll go over in a video later on. And I ordered a new hat today off of eBay. That'll be coming hopefully Thursday. And it's a hockey hat. Got it for pretty cheap, under $10. So, yeah, new hats are coming in. And I started to rewatch these, if you haven't heard, Team Fitted TV on YouTube. I'll send the link down below if I can. I was starting to rewatch these guys, and these guys are like the tops of hat collectors, especially for fitted hats. So rewatching them, and this was like August of 2018. So they were starting to talk about the Lid's Ultimate Cap Collection. So start thinking now about how you want to frame out your Ultimate Hat Collection picture for August. So that's coming around the corner, really. So thank you to everyone for watching. I have a pretty cool idea about what to do, but I feel like I don't have as many hats for this really, really cool idea. But we'll see. I mean, I'm at like 143 right now, 44 maybe. And maybe next year for this like really cool idea, but we'll see. Thank you for watching. And hats off to you for watching as always. Comment down below who you liked today in the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. If you've been to Cooperstown, which player do you think is going to get in next year? If you want to be so bold and daring, talk about your opinions about the PED guys and steroid era players. Clemens, McGuire, Sosa, Bonds especially. So yeah, it'd be a great conversation, especially with Major League Hats because he's a Giants fan. And I'm sure has a lot to say about Barry Bonds. So, not initially judging, but we'll just see how it goes in the comment section. So, thank you for watching. Have a good day, guys. Bye.